I play drums.
And I play the bass in the band called The Running. We're out of Nashville, Tennessee, and we started in 2006, and we do rock, reggae, blues infusion. And we've been playing around the United States and Southeast for the past 4 or 5 years. And I guess we're here today to let people know our story with Retune Nashville and the blessing they brought on us by letting us do what we love to do. So I guess last year the floods were in, May 1st? Yeah, May 1st, right, yeah. So we had a show in Knoxville, and we've been on the road, and all we wanted to do is get home to our own bed, but we didn't pay attention to the weather and drove back. We did a show in Knoxville, and then we drove straight back. I think we got back, what, 5 in the morning? 5:30?
4:30, 5 in the morning, something like that.
Yeah, and I guess he'll take over the story.
Yeah. Well, we split up. We were in 2 different cars, and I was with my girlfriend at the time. And we decided to go back to her house and spend the night there, which was also our practice space. And woke up about 3 hours later, and woke up to her screaming, and the water was already over the water or the wheel wells in my car, and we had left all the gear in the car, and it was already just too late to save any of it. So it was a one-story house. We had to jump up on the roof and sit there and watch all the gear go under. Everything from picks to extra cords to amps, PA, everything was gone.
Merchandise.
And all uninsured, like so many musicians here in Nashville. But thanks to, I was actually on the internet seeing what we could do about our lost gear, and came across the Retune Nashville website, which had been up for literally hours. And I emailed Sherry O'Neill, and she got back to me within about 30 minutes of me emailing her. It was pretty amazing. She called me up. I didn't expect it to be that quick. I was expecting a call maybe in a couple days, but she called me up, and she came over and took our gear and
yeah, pretty much donated it. So because we figured it was a loss to us, and if we can do something to like gear that that no value to us anymore because it was all damaged. But the whole idea of Retune Nashville by donating our gear and then letting the local community make art pieces and then auction it off, and the whole idea was great. Just like bring the community together. I mean, the whole state of Nashville, the mindset was all messed up just due to people losing their houses, bands losing our gear.
Yeah.
I mean, and most of the coverage was on these like big artists who have millions of dollars, and they lost millions of dollars of gear, but yeah, they can afford to replace it. Us, on the other hand, the local, regional, whatever, we were like a thumb up our, you know what I mean? So yeah, and luckily, like again, it's a blessing that we connected with Retune Nashville, and we were able to donate the gear and be part of the community, and we really appreciate it.
And the art pieces they made were just amazing.
They were awesome.
I mean, I wanted them in my house. It's like, hey, can I have that back? But seriously, they Music Cares, they got to us with a gift certificate for Guitar Center. We got back on our feet, but in the first auction, Retune Nashville actually donated me a drum set, a DW drum set.
An awesome
Thanks.
drum set.
It's 10 times nicer than I would ever buy for myself. But
so through him getting the drum set and then the gift card, we were able to get back to at least where we were able to practice and write again, because we were stagnant for literally 8 months. We had no gear. I mean, we were playing shows like that we committed to, but we were like literally like, can I borrow your bass? And people were more like, what do you mean borrow your bass? Like usually you ask for an amp or backline or something like that, but I mean, it was just like everything. It's like, can I borrow a strap? And then, sometimes you get the people like that, oh, well, I don't know about that. And then, you explain the story and they're like, never mind.
Yeah, but
here
for
you go.
the most part, everybody
like,
in Nashville has been
But,
awesome.
and then also like the local community in regards to local bands, they were really like, they were understanding, and they felt for us, and they were really, willing, like even though they weren't on the show, they would help us and say, either bring their gear and let us use their stuff.
Or come over to our house and practice.
Yeah, oh yeah, I have multiple people, like we'd go to different studios just to have that 1-2 hours where we can like refresh our set and then go play another, 3-4 shows. And it was a big mess, and we had like a lot of, I guess like hopeless almost, but then with this Retune Nashville and like the whole idea, and it like, at first you don't think anything of it, because how many times, you're just like, nothing will come of it. But then they really came through with giving us the gear, involving us in the community and everything, and we can't appreciate it anymore. I mean, it was amazing.
Definitely. And I say we're probably about 90% back to where we were this time last year before the flood.
Before the flood. So we're at least able to, and we've been writing new songs and moving forward, and and now that we can do shows more proper, we can build funds to like regain back to proper gear and everything. But it's all good.
Thank you. You too, Nashville.
My name is Randur Siitom. I'm a singer-songwriter through CSAC, things like that. More or less when the flood hit, I was living in an apartment, had a nice little home studio and everything else. We'd run around and record different musicians, recorded my own stuff, whatever needed to go. When it hit, it was absolutely devastating. You have everything set up just the way you like it. You have all the instruments and the tools and everything that you have, and it just gone. It was great after the flood because when you're coming through it and like coming after it, lost my truck, lost the place where I lived, everything. You come out of it and you're kind of wandering around, and it sucks, to be honest. It just sucks. And I remember sitting in a hotel room when all you want to do is really just sort of pick up an instrument and just start playing. It's the songwriter's thing where you want to grab something and just kind of fiddle around and get anything out. And the only way to burn off your frustrations, and there's just nothing there. It was great. A couple days afterwards, found out about Music Cares, and they came in and just so quickly, almost instantly, said, we've got some stuff set up for you. We want you to come in and go get a new guitar and just start writing again, start playing again, which was an absolutely amazing thing. Trying to think what else I need to talk about here. One of the other things that came up like after the flood was, didn't know it at the time, but ended up getting Lyme's disease right after it, got really sick. Of course, went through months where they didn't know what was going on. So it's been a struggle ever since, trying to get up, to stand up, to move on and do different, whatever, But at that same point, as a musician, you have, great things that come along, like, like Music Cares, or, even the help that we've had from FEMA, even the friends and the organizations and the charities and people who you've never met. You probably never meet most of them, and they come out and they, give you whatever they can to help you out, and that's absolutely amazing. Losing a lot of recording equipment, had an MRS 1608, computers that I would run with, as far as instruments. Had like a couple bass guitars, this beautiful Fender bass, bunch of acoustic guitars. One of the dumbest things that I lost is actually kind of irreplaceable. It was a great guitar that I got for a gift many years ago. It was a Decca electric guitar. You can't find those things that work anywhere else. I mean, they're slimline, they're about that thick. Just absolutely beautiful guitars, and it looks like a joke guitar until you plug it in, and the sound that just comes off it was absolutely amazing. But yeah, it's all the musical instruments, the keyboards, even the little things where you don't even think about it, the cables and everything else that run with it, all the microphones, just tons of stuff that you end up losing.
Ben Jumper, owner of Soundcheck in Nashville. 3.5 feet underwater on the inside of the facility, so everything from 3.5 feet below was destroyed, and you can imagine what that was. We had dumpsters out here for a month and a half, and I saw well over 1,000 guitars thrown away, hundreds and hundreds of amplifiers, hundreds of keyboards, hundreds of drums, wardrobes, sets, scenery, people's collections. It's just, you can't imagine what was lost in the flood. A wall of debris 20 feet tall, I'm going to say 700 yards long, from the riverbanks all the way out to Cowan Street. Just a huge loss. And this is only a small part, just a very small part of what was lost. People's homes were lost, the Opry was lost, the Shimmer horn, all the memorabilia. A lot of the working everyday musicians who work out of sound check lost everything. It's not just the big stars, it's the everyday sessions players, the meat and potatoes of this business. So, you know, you put what you don't use up on the shelves in the lockers, and what you use every day is there on the floor in a road case ready to roll in and out. So unfortunately, a lot of what we lost and what our clients lost were their everyday, what they use all the time, not something they had stored. Monday morning is when we saw the real devastation, and the water was still rising Monday afternoon. I believe it was Thursday afternoon before the water receded that we came back in to snake tracks in the hallways as the water receded, and you know, there were fish in cases, just crazy, crazy things. Over 10,000 from Hands on Nashville. We had so many volunteers here, we had to turn some away because we were getting in each other's way. Then just friends and family and everybody came out. So we had people bringing us coffee and food, and you know, that's what helped us get through it. It was just devastation in every direction you looked. The retunes effort, you know, all these efforts always get started right after, and you never know what's real. And it was very evident to us that retunes was real, and they were there to help the musicians. So from the very onset, we wanted to get involved, and we were honored to have Retunes have their first event here at Soundcheck. And we're looking very much, very forward to them coming back and this being a successful event, because it has put instruments in musicians' hands, paid their rent, helped them when they really needed it. And I couldn't be any more vocal about what Retunes and Music Cares has done for the musicians here in Nashville. It's just been overwhelming.